Good morning across the nerdyverse, and welcome to another episode of Gabby is stressed because of college and pulls her hair. Today is accent week, or this week is accent week. I do not like speaking in foreign accents, and since I'm a linguistics person, we're going to talk about linguistics and how accents relate to linguistics. Number one, everyone has an accent, no matter where you're from. I'm from Texas, however, I do not have a Texas accent, a Texan accent, as in, howdy y'all, how y'all doing? Because that's mostly East Texas, or places where it's really rural. And I live in a pretty big metropolitan area, meaning like 1 million people plus, so I speak like general, localized American English, which is mostly like what they speak in the Midwest, like Nebraska and all stuff like that. I speak the kind of English that you'd hear on a standardized test. An accent is the difference between how I sound and the difference between a British person or an Australian person or another speaker of English in another part of the world sounds. And dialect is like a different way of speaking. It's not that necessarily that you sound different. The way I pronounce words could sound the same as someone who lives in the Midwest United States. However, I will call a carbonated water beverage soda and they will call it a pop. That's a dialectal difference because it's regional. And British people will call a bathroom a loo instead of a bathroom, and so that's also a dialectal difference. Even though they also have a different accent, it's two different things. Accents are determined from the environment that you grew up in when you were a child. So, for example, I have a British chemistry professor who still speaks with a British accent even though she's lived in America for a very long time because she learned and habituated British pronunciations for words. And even though you're surrounded by American people or American television, as people in England often are, you're not going to pick up the American pronunciation because you are still ingratiated with the British one. And this is why Baby Einstein videos don't work, because you can't just show a baby a video of a Chinese person trying to teach them letters or words on a screen, because they won't get it. You have to have an actual live person, because that's actually what we talked about today. Trying to hold on to a baby's innate ability to learn all languages and then stop them from losing it, because all babies kind of lose that when they're about a year old, and stop them from losing it. But if you just show them a television program, they will still lose it and not be able to speak or understand any Chinese. If you have a live person saying the exact same words to them as were said in the television program, they will understand it because it's real life. So yeah. Don't buy into Baby Einstein, even though I think I used to watch that, but I'm an example that it doesn't work because I can only speak English. Also, I like to watch Discovery Health a lot, and a lot of times I watch mystery diagnosis and things like that where a person has this really weird illness and they don't find out until the very end when they almost die. And one that they have is something called foreign accent syndrome. It's not dangerous in any way, it's just that you literally go to sleep one day speaking maybe the way that I do, and you wake up the next day speaking in a French accent when you've never spoken in a French accent and you really never even hear French accent. It's just like a switch in your brain that kind of goes off and remembers things that you forgot. Because when you're a baby, you can learn to speak any language, any accent, any dialect, anything, and then as you grow accustomed to your environment, then you lose it and you become used to one thing. But these people who fall asleep and wake up, then they just get used to another French accent. Sorry for the boring educational video, but I hope you learned something or something. Okay, bye!